so in this one, we are going to be reacting to Slack X's video of how Dragon Ball Legends abandoned its main character, obviously within Shallot. Might be confused within Gohan or some others, but legitimately Shallot. And it's true. I mean, it is unfortunate, just before even getting into this here, that they have done this. A lot of people look at Dragon Ball as a whole. It kind of goes even to Shallot within the story of him. And a lot of people don't really care about Shallot's story. It's like, okay, maybe the sequences where he's hype and like here's the fusion of Shallot and Giblet, and then people are like, whoa, that's crazy, that's cool. And it's like surface level care. But then if like maybe the story is more involved, people care more about it, it'd be much more anticipatable for this, that, and the other. And the fact they really don't really do much with Shallot in general is a shame. And it's kind of the same thing as Dragon Ball. Again, the fighting within Dragon Ball is really cool. A lot of people just watch the fights, but once you delve into the story, then the fights mean more, then this, then that. It's basically Dragon Ball Legends is trying to be Dragon Ball within Shallot, but they haven't really succeeded too well. I mean, in recent years. In the past, people cared about him a lot more, especially when he's getting gradual transformations. But now, I mean, goddamn, nothing's happened to the guy. But nonetheless, he did get buffed in 7th anniversary within a unique equip. Rather, a plat equip, and maybe there's something on the horizon, I suppose, for 8th anniversary. We shall see, but let us see the story of Shallot, essentially, here.
One of the really cool things that makes Dragon Ball Legends stand out from all the other DBZ games is the fact that Legends has its own unique custom character, who was made and hand-drawn by the creator of Dragon Ball himself, Akira Toriyama. Meet Shallot.
I'm game!
The main character and mascot of Dragon Ball Legends. But as the years continue to go by through this game's development, Shallot has surprisingly received very little attention, with his own dedicated story mode being dragged out and going completely nowhere for the longest time, him taking years to receive it.
Which, to be fair to Legends and the producers and everything and developers, how can you make your own MC match the likes of MCs that are infamy in Shonen? Like, Goku is infamous in every single aspect of every single creation of anything modern, or even the last 20, 30, 40 years, 30 years. And it's like, how can you make it where your own MC can hit the likes, not the likes of that, but like a degree of that? It just doesn't even feel possible. Like, this is not the IP that was asking for a different MC when their MC is so overwhelmingly what he is. Like, it's damn near impossible to make such a compelling one when such an infamous one exists, which not a bad thing to try. It's just succeeding. It's almost impossible.
New transformation or some kind of buff, only for him to quickly be kicked out of the meta by the more dominant units. The customization feature being dead for the longest time, as it's been years since any new accessories have been implemented, and the amount of characters Shallot can copy moves from being limited. He isn't ever on the official app icon, and is also nowhere to be seen in any form of promotion in the App Store.
Again, you got the likes of Vegeta, Gogeta, Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, all these guys that everyone knows, and it's like, well, why would I ever show Shallot off? Yeah, as a developer, as a money, as a business, it's like Shallot was meant to be the primary thought when first revealed to the game and everything like that, because he really was a primary character for the first couple of years. But once it became where, well, the fusions, well, this, well, that, well, this and that, and within Dragon Ball Super returning, that's all that's ever going to matter. It's also going to matter in Legends. He will never be on the home screen. He'll never be this, that, and the other, unless it's a fusion within him and somebody else, or, a new form, but it'll last for much less time than UI Goku, Gogeta, this, that, and the other. Also, has Vegeta even been on the App Store as a logo? I'm not even sure.
You would think a main character of a game would have his face plastered everywhere, but no. It just seems like the majority of the time, this character gets completely neglected. So, why? What's the reason? Could it be the story mode has been building up to something huge we don't know about? Maybe Shallot potentially getting a new form, or even a rarity upgrade to becoming an LR, or...
Again, unfortunately, I don't feel as though as many people are compelled to watch and read and all that, the Legends story, because it's a gacha game. People really aren't anticipating much, and I mean, as someone that doesn't really care about Legends story, doesn't even know what the hell it's about, I know I'm not feeling compelled to want to read it and go through it all, because I'm here playing a gotcha. I ain't trying to fucking read some dumbass story, and I assume it's not going to be very good. I've heard that it is. I know people do care about it, but I know a lot of people also don't. So unless they compel it within this character being as good as he can be, as like actually cared about more, then I'd care more. If they care more about him, then I'd care more about him. But it's just someone that's just here to play the game and just, well, try my best to play the game and go through the fucking crippling gambling addiction that, well, this game kind of incentivizes. That's really the whole premise of the game, isn't it? A lot of people are not downloading Legends for Shallot, and I don't really know the last time that was the case.
Ultra? Well, for this video, we're going to be taking a look at the entire history of Shallot's management to see if we can find the answer as to why his fate always seems to be him getting pushed aside to the background. So the first...
Apparently this whole section of video, by the way, 132 to 236 is muted, so we're just gonna skip over that.
Was until October of 2018, where two huge major updates would happen for him. His first ever transformation and the introduction of his special move copy ability. Once you reach the required friendship level, you can then change Shallot's special move into whatever specific character you upgraded. You want to see Shallot do a Gallop Gun? Now you can. What about a Kamehameha? No problem. This was an amazing feature, which not only made this character more
I did not play when this first dropped, by the way,
but it also changed things drastically for when you use them in PvP. There are some really broken blue cards characters have that you could just freely slap onto Shallot. For example, Broly's Blaster Shell, which has a 30% chance to faint on hit.
Everything has
and there's also Purple Chill, who can guaranteed inflict paralysis
Guaranteed paralyze.
And of course,
we
can't forget about him going Super Saiyan for the first time.
Shut the hell up! I lose to no one! Told you not to underestimate.
See, this is what I mean. People are compelled to look at this. So like, here's Gohan with him in Super Saiyan 2, but like,
it also again
that's it. Unfortunately, for a lot of people.
Shallot being able to transform now opened the doors for him to achieve something even higher in the future, which of course we would end up seeing. And the coolest part about Shallot's transformations is the fact that it acts as a buff for this character.
As it should.
Now with that being said, was his Super Saiyan form enough to make him meta viable?
I don't remember.
He just didn't do anything special. His damage and tanking weren't good. It also didn't help that the era he got his buff in was when the Holy Trinity, one of the most dominant teams in this game's history, was in its prime. So
just think about his buffs on paper right now. Super Saiyan 2, I don't know when it first happened, but I don't remember it being like some godly thing from what I can recall. Was it second year? I don't know, but it's around there, I'm sure. Super Saiyan 3 was broken. Super Saiyan God was mediocre. Super Saiyan Blue was alright. So, again, you're not caring about the character. How could I care about the character? Legends devs. And they don't care about him anymore. I mean, again, what has he gone recently? Within the last year, he's gone one buff. Is he going to get a buff a year? I mean, what the hell does that matter to anybody?
Players could have
they last for less than a month, these characters. Shallot lasted part 2 of 7th year he was used. That's all he's ever used.
Character in his own game. So
he doesn't even touch them in part 3 7th year.
A handful of months for Shallot to receive his next buff. And it eventually arrived around July of 2019 during the first anniversary of this game. Oh, his first game? He went to, oh my god. I don't remember. Wow, this is when I started the game. I remember this. That's how. Yeah, alright. Oh, I thought it was just Gohan. See, this is the shit I'm talking about here. Off topic real quick.
See, I did that.
The cutscenes in this game.
This kind of actually goes to my whole point. I downloaded this game with no thought. I saw the tournament the first year that they just recreated tournament. That's why I downloaded the game. I thought it was cool. But I had no even thought of this. I'm sure I got Super Saiyan 2 Shallot within the first week. I had no thought of it. Not a care in the world. Never used them, never touched them within that. That's the whole kind of point I'm at here. If they don't show me they care enough to make it where, like, I need to look at this, I need to, like, read this, I need to go through it, I just feel like they won't either. And even back then when they were buffing him hella, because it's not too far apart, you know, it's still a year span, like, still it's not that bad within time frame. Actually, it's less than a year, but it's not that bad within time frame. I just wish they made it more straightforward of, like, this is our MC. I know Goku exists, but this is ours. They don't really do that mascot thing for him.
Are always such a treat to see.
They'd like
Wish
to.
we could get them more often.
Probably.
But back to our protagonist. Was this finally the moment he would be meta viable? No, it isn't. This upgrade unfortunately didn't do much for him at all. A huge portion of his damage was locked behind 2 of your allies being defeated. Not sure I need to explain why that's so horrible. And it also didn't help that Mr. Yoshaman was in his prime, soloing teams all by his lonesome. Back to the benches you go, Mr. Side Character. So you know what that means. More waiting until he gets his next transformation.
2,000 years later.
It is now January of 2020. One of the very best years for Shallot. For starters, he received 2 transformations in the same year, and they were both broken. Finally, Shallot was meta viable.
I played
even
during
with the
them.
fact that Super Saiyan
3 was a
time
broken
transformation.
God was
the
not
damage
broken.
boost Shallot got from it was insane.
God
he
was
would
not
disintegrate
broken.
your
Like
opponent's
3?
health bar with just 2
Hell
cards.
no.
And for every enemy that you killed, you got even more extra damage.
Nah, 3 was insane. This is the only thing I ever remember about Shallot. Super Saiyan 3 was really good. And his equipment was bad. None of these cutscenes
And as for Super
I
Saiyan
fully
God,
recall correctly.
this was just peak hype, bro.
Just say your way.
All of the build-up and development to Shallot's
I remember this
character
image.
was so
I don't remember
worth
the
wait for this
actual
moment.
scene.
And being able to see all the Saiyans join together to
It's like I'm
perform the
rewatching the
ritual,
first.
it's really going to be
time.
difficult for the story mode to top a moment as great
See
as
this?
this.
Look at this. Who are these people? What is this gang? Where's Goten? Where's Gohan? Like this, I do not remember this. I don't. They've never made it where I feel like I have to care about Shallot. But that, the whole OC thing, I mean, you would think I should be forced to, at least, or incentivized to. Not good enough in the meta, for most parts, as well as...
Just like Super Saiyan 3,
I ain't here to
Super
play a
Saiyan
sword.
God was also amazing in PvP. Much more extra damage in his kit.
Yeah, no, he
his
definitely
key
wasn't Super
recovery
Saiyan
was
3's
phenomenal,
car, but like,
which allowed him to
I
extend
don't
his
remember him
combos.
being bad.
His blue card will also
Wasn't
hit
as bad
like
Super
a
Saiyan
truck.
2 or 1.
And the fact you could also pair this unit alongside Ella Vegito Blue, who is arguably the single most dominant unit we've ever seen in this game.
I
This
guess he was
duo
bulky
worked
God Shallot,
perfectly
I remember?
together, making God Key 10 times
It was
better
bulky.
than it already
That's all I remember
was.
about him. That's
This
about it.
was Shallot's prime. And although he would quickly fall off due to all the broken...
Yeah, that's crazy, Glaze. Super Saiyan 3 was infinitely better than any other Super Saiyan, any form, whatever. Super Saiyan 3 was infinitely better than anything. I don't know what this Super Saiyan God Glaze is, but from my recollection, this motherfucker was like, maybe he was alright. Maybe he was even pretty good, but like, Super Saiyan 3 was legitimately on the best team in the game. Like, that man was manhandling 1v3. Like, there was not even a contention point. That man was him. That's when I cared about Shallot, when he was amazing. That's just kind of like where they do free-to-play units. No one give a fuck about the event-exclusive Zenkai from back in the day of like 2022, 2023, 2021. But when Kid Ku got his Zenkai, everyone was ready. They were ready to farm up his free-to-play Zenkai game. Zenkai 7 was the best unit in the game. People started caring about free-to-plays then. When you give me something that's good enough to care about, then I'll care. I cared about Super Saiyan 3. Everything else, though, it's just better units exist because they're more premium. Why would they make the free-to-play the best of the characters? Because it's your MC and OC. Yes, but your real MC is clearly not Shallot. I mean, come on, man. Look at Legends.
Zenkais that rose to power after him. The point is, after all these years, Shallot has finally made a name for himself. And it went to show, if the proper attention and care was given to him, he could easily be a fun and competitive character.
Maybe I'm downplaying God Shallot.
Anytime. But unfortunately, this golden treatment would only last for so long. So for this next portion of the Shallot timeline, this is where I would easily consider he was the most forgotten about. After all the amazing back-to-back updates for him, we wouldn't see anything major added for this character for a solid 3 years. There was, of course, major key stepping stones that progressed the story during this time span, like Zaha betraying Shallot, the complicated relationship between him and his brother, and of course, their fusion, leading to the creation of Shallot. But in terms of actual new in-game content for players to use, there was absolutely
why did that
nothing.
drop as a character?
Outside of story mode, Shallot was treated no better than your average hero.
I would have been like, how'd they fuse?
He just remained rotting
Who
at the bottom
is
of
that other
people's
guy?
boxes.
It's just him.
Dreaming of
just
the
win.
day people would use him again.
You know what I mean?
But thankfully, during the 5th anniversary,
Super
Shallot would
Blue.
finally achieve the next level.
Wait, did he go Sparking here or go Super Saiyan Blue? Oh, he went Super Saiyan Blue here, okay. And he hasn't got shit in Transformation 6. It was even a thing that people used to do. I remember this, actually. It would be like a yearly prediction of, like, will he go blue? Or rather, when he went 3, the next prediction was like, was he going to go God or Super Saiyan 4? And it keep being that prediction, like, was he going to go from God to UI? Or is he going to go into blue? Or is he going to go from blue to Super Saiyan 4 or into UI? You never hear jack shit about that no more.
That's not all.
It's not even a
We also got many other major upgrades for our boy. The most important one being Shallot officially retiring as being a hero character and having his rarity changed into being a sparking. This gave him a huge stat increase and many other changes to his kit. We also got a nice UI change for the customization tab as well. A much more cleaner design where you can swap between any of the forms you want to use. But by far, the coolest thing about this update for Shallot is the fact that each of his forms have their
6
own
new
unique
units
kit
within one new
and play
unit.
different roles in a fight. His base form is by far the worst, but he does act as a mini support character
Super Saiyan's still
by
worse,
healing the team and reducing ally sub count by 3 on
base isn't terrible.
His Super Saiyan form revolves around having dead allies. He gets extra damage, card draw speed, and also
as
gets
good as he
50
was
key,
when sparking, he wasn't that
and a
last
Dragon
red
Ball when he
stand type
switches
of
back in
man.
one time. Super Saiyan 2 Shallot plays a supporting
He's a
role in the
glazer.
team,
Not
giving
bad.
allies 20%
Probably the
extra
aging
damage, 40%
And
key
his endurance.
recovery, and 30 key when he's on standby. And if you run him next to any other Super Saiyan 2 character, he gives even more extra damage and 30% crit. This Shallot form is also the only one to have endurance. Then there's Super Saiyan 3, which is by far the strongest form of them all. This form is all about damage and combo extension. On his first main ability, he gets 30 key, cover null, and restores his advantage by...
This was such a good time for him. Like, I would say this was his prime, because again, you basically have 6 characters, because you have base, Super Saiyan 2, 3, God, Blue, right? 6 characters that you could just, whenever the fuck you want to use, and everyone has them. Given the star thing for him is still only 8 stars, and it's like, why not just give him the extra 9 for the stat buff, because it's a really big stat buff. Who fucking knows the answer? They're gatekeeping a fucking free-to-play unit for the last, like, I don't know how many years. Has it been? We're going on 8 years here of a free-to-play unit being kept to 8 stars. I don't know what the fuck the point of that is, but nonetheless, this was definitely his prime though, because not everything's a different playstyle than this character. Again, there's a little niche differences. It just would have been nice. They know how to make good aging units. It's not perplexing. We all know what good aging units should be having within their kit to age well. Why not do that for Shallot? Like, there's no aspects in any form where it's like you could even cope it to this day, despite him, or even, let's say, even during Festival, where it was only 6-month differential from his equipment to, you know, when he got it, right? 6 months later, essentially. There was nothing you could do within a Festival of running Shallot, because there's no, like, trying to give him good aging. So again, as I keep saying, if they don't show enough care to make this character good aging and good enough for this, that, and the other about time, but they do for other characters that are obviously the ones you pay for, why would I care about the character? Like, they don't make me want to care. If he sucks, I don't give 2 shits. You gotta make me want to care. There's motherfuckers like Red Bergamo, who was amazing on his Zenkai. I remember I used to run him fucking every single time I could, and he was clobbering, definitely underappreciated and slept on. And I cared about him because he was an underdog type that really did a good job in his roles. You can have a character that's not the main focus of everything of life for the IP and make them good enough to where, oh yeah, I'll care about him. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, this. But Shallot, it just felt like they did it so many times. But, again, this is kind of the golden goose where they damn near did it perfect. Again, unfortunately, it just didn't fucking age well.
100%. Every time he uses a card, he gets 5 key back.
And equipment being generalized, which,
on his second main ability, he gets even more key, more damage, extra card draw speed, and the cherry on top, permanent endurance null for 20 counts. He also gets even more damage buffs when his health falls below 50 or 60%. Then we have Super Saiyan God. This form gets a lot of damage revolving around his blue card. When he uses his main ability, he gets a permanent 30% special move damage buff, alongside getting health, ki, and a fresh new hand of cards to work with. He draws a blue on his cover change, so you can follow up with it right after. He gets extra damage and reduces his blue card cost for every card he uses, and also gets extra buffs every time the enemy vanishes. And finally, we have Super Saiyan Blue. Unlike all the forms we just talked about, when Shallot transforms, he gains an attack type unique gauge. And once he fills it up, he gets a crazy amount of buffs. He heals, gets 100% ki, 40% to his overall inflicted damage, as well as his blue card, cover null for 15 counts, cancels attribute downgrades, and gets double card draw speed. This is still by far the biggest change we have ever had for this character, and he was really effective in PvP for a short period of time. But you know how it is with power creep in this game, and Shallot's comeback unfortunately didn't last very long. So, we enter the dead era for Shallot yet again. He did receive a plat equipment at the end of the year, but it was nowhere near enough to put him back on the map. Especially with Ultra UI Goku running around terrorizing the meta. Moving into 2024, and our protagonist would receive absolutely nothing for the entire year. Luckily for 2025 though, he would have another big resurgence during the 7th anniversary, where he received a special plat equipment. And this time around, it actually made him very meta viable. He was part 2, he was one of the best units in the game, man. Every time you attacked him, not only would you do no damage, but he would just heal it all back like you never even hit him to begin with.
Like, you needed to rush
that
Shallot.
Alongside the absurd amount of damage he was doing thanks to all the extra buffs the plat gave, made him a force to be reckoned with. Even being able to...
Just to say, though, unfortunately, it was super generalized, the equipment. Like, it did its job. It made him what he should be. But here's every form that's wanting to do different things, getting the same exact equipment. Some of them are going to get fucked over more than others. And the one that was probably most used, I would guess, was Super Saiyan 3, if I remember correctly. Because just the damage within it, and like, here's Kaioken, you know, A+, and you can just run them all together. A+, you're making your safety, whatever the fuck you want to do. But should have just been specific. Every single form gets different equipment. It's not, brother, it's adding text to a fucking box, essentially. That's all you're doing for equipment. You're adding lines of code and text to a box. Making 6 of equipment that are unique to specific forms is not some fucking masterclass of technology. The fact that they didn't was just outright lazy. But again, doesn't make he was bad in that setting. It just could have been better. Again, he was one of the best units in the game during part 2 of 7th year.
Against the brand new
he was a minimum top 10.
But like always,
I say this is
has
his
the quickest fall off of all time, and was never seen again after Ultra Frieza and Goku were released to completely ruin the meta for the time being. Which finally brings us back to the present day.
He might get buffed in 8th year.
Shallot?
You don't run Shallot today. I don't advise.
Just as I did the other day. So, throughout this entire video, it seems to be this never-ending cycle of Shallot receiving a buff, him falling off, and then it taking a millennia for...
It's like they want him to be their guy, and then they do it for like a celebration or something, just like, you know, a little surprise for him. But then they also recognize, wait, it's Shallot. This isn't Goku. This isn't Vegito. This isn't Gogeta. This isn't Gohan. Just me and Vegeta. Oh. Then they get that thought again in their head like 8 months to 10 months later, and they're like, oh, okay. You know, this is Shallot, our guy. And then they remember again, and the cycle repeats. And it's like, doesn't hurt to make him age well. Just update his kit and then give modernized things. Like, it's not a criminal offense to do that, Legends. It's your OC MC that you can make any power you want. And making a character that everyone owns very good does not sound like a harm to anybody involved. People will still summon for their Vegetos and Gogetas and Gohans and Gokus whenever the fuck they want, because they're going to keep releasing. But the OC, well, everyone owns him, so why not make him good
to receive the
a
next
long
one.
Time?
So,
doesn't make any sense.
Periods, what are some ideas the game could do so Shallot isn't just sitting there rotting for the majority of the time?
You equip for every single form.
An obvious idea could be the boost system.
And give him Z-tier boost.
Why not have all game original characters have their own dedicated feature boost system? not only would it finally give life to this
If we
forever
guarantee
dead tag,
every single game
but
original
it
should
would
be
also
Z tier
give
guaranteed
Shallot
boost
extended longevity in the meta.
forever in the
I mean,
game.
it's warranted
I don't give
since
a
he's
fuck
the
what
main
we get anymore.
character. I'd say he deserves a
Incentivize
special
Shallot.
treatment. Another simple idea will be just constantly giving him buffs every few months. Just give him more plats, or buff the pre-existing ones with stats that fit the current meta.
Again, just adding lines of code. And they've been buffing units anyways. MC got a buff, DKP got a buff, Piccolo just got a buff. Dooogote and Hit were on extra boost because their boost wasn't even enabled essentially in PvP within a certain portion of it. Like, they can do these things. If they can buff Legend Piccolo, why can't they buff fucking Shallot? Brother, no offense to any Piccolo fan. All fucking 10 of them. Well, I know Piccolo's fan. It's like, they like that he has the fucking stupid-ass cape and he has the stupid aura farming. But, no offense to Piccolo fan. I wish you could make me care more about Shallot than Piccolo, because as someone that's just neutral on Piccolo, I'd really like to care about the character that is the whole entire wannabe, culpably MC of the game. But when you don't show me that he is, I'm going to care about Piccolo more. And, like, as cool as Piccolo is, I really wish I cared about Shallot more than Piccolo.
I'm sure nobody would have a problem with this. Shallot is one of the most beloved characters in this game. His existence alone differentiates Dragon Ball Legends from the rest of the other games. He's such a cool
Super Saiyan 3 wasn't even
concept,
toxic.
and I just wish the game did more with
fucking
him,
powerful.
instead of leaving him to
Shallot
drown
actually
with
hasn't
Dooogote at the
even
time.
been toxic.
Anyways, that's all I gotta say for this video.
Like, here's God Shallot, who's bulky enough, right? Again, that's all I remember for him. Here's Blue Shallot's kind of mid to whatever. He's good, but like he's not good enough. Here's Super Saiyan 3, it's just super powerful. Here's, maybe people hate that Super Saiyan 2 Shallot can glaze a Gohan, but like, okay, don't fucking blame Shallot for that, bro. Like, he's just fucking here. Like, I don't know. What do you want him to do? Shallot was never even toxic. Like, that's the impressive thing. He was on those top tiers for a little bit of time within times that he was there. It's either he's bulky or he's just really, really good in damage. And that's not a bad thing to have. So, I don't know. I wish they gave a fuck more because, yeah, I'd love to care about a character that's part of the Dragon Ball universe in this game. And when you don't give me an incentive, I just don't feel it. And if the incentive is supposed to be, well, because you got to read the story, how about you make him good enough as he is in the story to do all these powerful things as could be in the actual game itself that he's premiering and starring in, you know what I mean? Like, this guy is in a fucking fighting game on a console back there. And it's like, you can't give him more fucking depth when he's been added to 2 games. He made it into Sparking 0. You couldn't give him something for making it to Sparking 0? New form? Give him UI! Like, fuck. Actually, he'd become toxic then. But, bro, make him good. How about that? What did I think of the video here? My reaction to SlackX's how Dragon Ball Legends abandoned their main character. I'll see you guys in the next one.